The Film Slice crew review Solo because there was nothing else out. Also, apparently some people like this whole Star Wars thing, so we're going to do that. Hope you enjoy!
Hey team, Megastraken here, and welcome to the Film Slice podcast. I'm here as always with my co-host Kane Diggly Wiggly Kane Dogs.
Hello.
And Broadly Do Broadman.
Also known as Boo Bucker.
Boo Bucker.
Bucker?
The Boo Bucker. I boo things I don't like. Okay, don't worry about it. Also known as Boo Chucker.
That's right, Kane Dogs, we're reviewing Han Solo, a Star Wars story of such.
Just Solo.
Just Solo.
The drink.
We're reviewing Solo the drink.
During an adventure into the criminal underworld, Han Solo meets his future co-pilot Chewbacca and encounters Lando Calrissian years before joining the rebellion.
Yeah, right.
There's like a spoiler in this. Alright, yep.
It's a
spoiler for a film
this
that came out
movie
like 8
doesn't
years
have
ago.
many spoilers in it because...
This movie has nothing in it. Anyway, go on.
Yeah, but we'll get to it. When did you see the movie and what did you think?
When did you see the movie? What did you think? Do you like the movie? None of the shit.
Starting with Broadman this time.
With me, I saw it yesterday in the afternoon.
Yeah, righto.
And I thought it was pretty good.
Nice one.
Nice one.
Cane Dogs.
I saw it yesterday also with the GF also in the afternoon. And I thought it was below average.
Mm-hmm. Alright, cool.
Angus?
I saw it 2 nights ago.
I honestly thought you would have seen it this morning. That's why I wanted to do this in the afternoon. But, yep.
I saw this 2 nights ago, and look, it was alright. Lads, you know every week I put up on Instagram, I'm not even going to say Twitter this time. Every time I put
it up on Twitter this time?
No, I did put it up on Twitter this time, yeah. Fine, I put it up on Twitter. You know how every week I put up on Instagram and Twitter.
And Connor Kelly writes back.
And I asked people if they've seen the movie that we're reviewing this week and want to be in on the podcast.
And no one writes back. Yes.
No one writes back. Well, we definitely got 2.
Are your family any of the 2?
No. Cool. Okay, so the first review comes from our long-time listener, Connor Kelly.
Good on you, mate.
What a legend. What a bloody legend. He says, won't get to see Solo this weekend, sadly, dudes. Exams start on Monday. I can't wait to hear what you guys think anyway.
Oh, dude, I feel ya. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't go to uni, none of us do, but my girlfriend goes to uni and batshit crazy right now. So, yeah.
Exams.
Good luck with the exams, Connor. Shattered that you didn't see the movie, but, you know.
Look, tell us what you're
I
studying.
just love that we're talking directly to Connor. It's great.
You know what?
Connor, good luck, man. I
He's
hope you
put
make
in
it
the
through
hours.
whatever
He's put in
the
the
exams are
hours.
for.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just hope that he's put in the hours
Yeah.
that he was meant to use for the exams.
Yeah, hopefully, we're not the reason he does terribly.
I hope you're not too stressed. I hope you're nice and chill.
Yeah.
What else?
This is from our mate, that Tay.
Okay, yes.
Who's written in a few times,
I've
given us
heard of
some
him.
very lovely things. He says, firstly, I'm going to take a break from commenting on the Film's Lies posts. It'll be because I'm trying to find more creative ways to mess with you. So have faith.
I can't wait.
Alright,
One day, Brody. One day,
Well,
Angus.
Good luck, Tay.
One day, Brody will walk into his house and his house will blow up or something. And we'll just get a
Got him.
Twitter that's just like, got him.
You got him.
It'll be one of those, you hop into your car, boom, sort of.
So, I like how the Tay is the Joker to this podcast.
Every hero needs a villain.
That's it.
Love you, the Tay.
We
Good
are
on you.
not heroes.
Anyway, so that's what the public thought of it.
Yeah.
That actually, Broadman, we touched on this last episode, but I'm pretty sure I cut it out because of time restraints. But you said we should call our audience something. We need to give the listeners a name,
Yes.
a proper name.
Yes.
Did you have any ideas?
I was thinking the slices,
Slices.
as in like ERS, not ES. Not as in there are many slices of this
The
cake.
slices.
As in the slices, as in we're going to cut you up.
Right.
So you've weaponized our listeners.
I want to weaponize our community, yeah.
Yeah, right.
Where this is a secret cult.
Although we are, in some ways, a democracy in that being Angus is the tyrant.
I veto this being a
agrees.
democracy.
Jordan, shut up.
That makes it a dictatorship.
So
And
Okay, but what I'm saying is,
by
I feel
that,
like
you're a dick.
I feel like we should give our listeners a name so that when we refer to
I
them,
agree.
I would say let's give our listeners a week to come up with their own name.
ugh.
So what you actually want is Connor Kelly to decide what they're called.
Yeah.
The Callies.
The Kellys.
We can't name all of our listeners after one of our listeners.
Well, you know,
We can.
I mean, he's earned it.
He has
whether
earned
we
it.
should or not is the
I
question.
mean, we're not at all policed by anybody but ourselves.
so if you have an idea
Yes.
for a name for yourselves as an audience of the Film Slice podcast, you can reach us on Instagram at Film Slice Pod and send us a PM, send us a private message.
Also,
So-
you can also leave a comment on YouTube.
Yeah, leave a comment on the YouTube channel, or you
my
can
Facebook page.
You can tweet us at film_slice_pod. Let us know. Let's get this happening. Let's get the audience involved.
And if you are listening from the future back on this and you just recently got in on us because of our Jurassic World, I'm really sorry, but we've already named you.
yeah,
Too bad. This is the only chance you have.
This is to those
People from the-
future listeners.
Future listeners that go back and listen to it.
Come on, the Brodies.
All right, guys, let's move on to the next segment. Would you recommend it, and who would you recommend it to? Cane Dogs, kick us off.
I would not recommend this. I would recommend this to anyone who's a fan of, like, the prequels. Like, if you really liked Phantom Menace, you'll like this, I guess.
Yeah, I'd recommend it to anyone that's ever seen a Star Wars film. Whether they liked it or not, I have no idea.
So you recommend it as something that could create controversial discussion?
No, not controversial. I liked the film. I didn't think it was bad. I think that this was a step above a lot of the other films. I really didn't like the prequels, and I haven't really enjoyed the two recent of the main story, Force Awakens and whatever the other one was.
Jedi?
There you go, Last Jedi. That I really wasn't a big fan of Last Jedi. I had some cool moments, but really wasn't a big fan. And really like this one.
Would I recommend it, and who would I recommend it to? Yes, I would recommend it. I think it's a bit of fun. It's definitely a bit of fun. There are going to be a lot of Star Wars fans that are disappointed. Mm-hmm. I'm definitely going to say that. If you're a hardcore Star Wars fan, maybe sit this one out.
I'm not a hardcore
Maybe
Star Wars
sit
fan,
this
but
one
I'm
out.
fan enough to be upset with what they've done.
Yeah. It does.
It fucks up a little bit.
Yeah, I thought it was fun. There is a lot of kind of controversial things that happen in it, but I think the more you know about Star Wars, maybe the better the film will be as well.
I was gonna say the opposite. If this film was not a prequel, if this film was not called Solo and wasn't based on Han Solo, and if this film wasn't a prequel to other Star Wars films, I probably would have enjoyed it more as just a standalone film. This film is made out of references for people who enjoy the originals and enjoy Han Solo as a character to be like, oh, that's where we got that from. Oh, that's how this happened. Oh, that's the thing that they mentioned. But honestly, I think that's the downfall of the film.
I disagree.
Yeah.
I feel like all of those references were kind of in there, but I was never concentrating on them throughout the entire film. It was like whenever one happened, I was like, oh, I know where that's from. But it wasn't my concentration. It wasn't in the forefront. Sure. It wasn't right there in what I was concentrating on the entire time, which was a kind of interesting story about a character which I felt like I didn't know. As a character that has been in 5 films now, and I felt like I didn't know who it was. There were a few moments where I felt it was just like things just happened too quickly, or they just jumped to a place to name something or say, oh, this is where this happened from, all that. But for the rest of it, I was just like, dude, this is just a fun romp in the stars with a bunch of characters.
Hashtag fun romp.
Cool. I guess we better go into spoilers.
Oh, what a cool sound effect, Angus.
All right, this is spoiler time where we dissect and divulge everything about this movie. Broadman, starting with you, what's the most positive thing about this film that you found?
2 moments. The first moment was when we first meet Chewbacca. I loved that scene where he's like in this like mud pit, and it's like it's got to be him.
Yeah.
But still, it was like man, Chewbacca was freaky as. I was like, that's the scariest Chewbacca's ever been in any Star Wars film. And I just loved it. He was really kind of animalistic, which was really awesome. And then the next thing was freaking Darth Maul. Saw his foot, and I was like, ooh, it's Darth Maul. And I sat on my seat and turned around and it was Darth Maul, and I was like, it was Darth Maul.
See, I'm so confused about that, but I had it explained to me.
I love it.
We got given robotic legs.
Yeah. Yeah. Well,
What are you lost about?
well, no, like I just thought he died.
I've watched all of the Clone Wars
He's
stuff.
in all of the
so,
Clone Wars and Rebels and all of the animated stuff.
Yeah.
He's very
right,
large.
right.
There's statues and shit.
Yeah,
Very
okay.
largely known for having metal legs.
Oh, there you go.
The fandom was not going to leave him dead.
Yeah.
Like, one of the few good things to come out of...
Is this the first time he talked? I don't remember him talking in Menace.
Because apparently...
he talks, but he has very minor lines.
Okay.
Because
This is sort of like, at last we will have the something, at last.
At last we will eat the cake.
At last we will... At last we will get in line for Starbucks.
Man, I love my legs.
Just the first film was just, hey man, how good are my legs? Man,
I can run. Oh, look, I can hop. No, I jump over this chair.
these are just my favourite things. I just love walking.
These are a few of my
All I've-
favorite things.
All I've put on my ear.
When the saber cuts, when Qui-Gon Jinn dies, when Obi-Wan kills you.
All my favourite things are just like he on his eHarmony account. It just loves long walks, and that's all he's got. Darth Maul.
Tap dancing?
Darth Maul loves long walks and tap dancing. Also a fan of the triple jump.
Jordan, what is your most positive thing about
My most positive thing
Solo?
would be Lando Calrissian.
Oh, it's so good.
Who doesn't love bloody Childish Gambino / Troy from Community /
Donald Glover.
Donald Glover / all of the other
slash his real name.
/ his real name. Yeah, that casting was...
Perfect.
I was excited when I heard about it, and he's my favourite thing from the movie.
Yeah.
I
he
love-
was
great.
I love
good.
that he's steps ahead in terms of charisma, but he also gets there by being sort of a cheater, but he does it in a way where you're kind of like classic Lando.
Yeah.
You don't hate him for running away on them at the end. You don't hate him for cheating. You don't hate him for doing any of it because he's just so cool.
Coming in a close second, I really like Woody Harrelson's character as the mentor kind of person, I guess you'd say.
Like
He is a mentor.
He's like
and it's
he's the original Star Wars smuggler.
he's Han Solo before Han Solo was
Yeah,
Han
he's
Solo,
what Han
kind,
Solo
of kind of
becomes.
thing. Yeah. And I
Foreshadowing much.
I did really enjoy his character. That and Amelia Clarke, I think she did a fantastic job as the love interest, which obviously from the movies that isn't gonna end well. But yeah, I think there are a fair few actors in this that really shined, just not the main actor whose name I don't know.
Aldrich Allen Wright or something like that. His last name is like 90% not vowels.
Which brings me to my most negative, which was him. Unfortunately, I mean, I think he as a actor is very charismatic and everything, and does a good job on the screen. I just didn't see the problem is I didn't see enough of Han Solo in him. Like there are a few lines and everything that was kind of reminiscent of the Han Solo that we knew, but there wasn't anything that he really did that was like
Literally, the
that's
only
Han
thing
Solo
they got
kind of
right
thing.
was the way he stands, and that's it. Like his posture was the only thing they got.
Yeah, even then, it's not
Yeah.
the biggest Han
I
Solo
like the way he
characteristic kind of thing.
talks. I like he doesn't have the same voice as Harrison Ford. Obviously, he's a different person.
Yeah,
But I think he got all of the way that Harrison Ford speaks in those original trilogy.
Really?
Because Harrison Ford speaks super differently now. He's got like a really old,
Yeah.
I
deep gravelly
watched
voice.
A New Hope before watching this.
Okay.
Going in and still hated it.
yeah.
Just for
Interesting.
context.
Birdman, your most negative thing about the film?
Most of my negative things are more story based.
I
Yeah.
really
Or-
thought you'd hate this.
Or there was a few moments where I was like, it didn't need to be focused on, but I understand why it was. There's a bit where Woody Harrelson's character pulls apart a gun and it becomes the Han Solo blaster, and he throws it and gives it to Han Solo.
So dumb.
And they concentrated on it too much. Like it was just like it was a thing that like even the shot that they used focused on the gun landing in his hands, and it focused on it's like this is the gun.
This is the gun.
And like there was a few little moments like that where I was just like, but I think that a lot of people's problems will be in this film that there's so many things that are iconic about Solo that don't really need to be for me, like for his gun and everything, and for the dice and stuff like that. I felt like it was just concentrated on too much, and no matter what they did, people would have had a problem with it.
Yeah.
But I think that's my problem, is that some of this stuff is like, you should just take it as like, this is how he got it. Like what he does with it is what makes it iconic. It's like not how he got it.
Yeah, exactly.
If you know what I mean?
Yeah.
They were my main negatives of this film. Everything else I was fine with, even stuff that was really corny. I was just like, yeah, because like if you ever watched the Star Wars films are so fucking corny.
They are very
so
corny.
it's like it's easy to get past anything that's like super corny.
Cane dogs. Most negative thing about the film.
I have a billion of them, but I will pick the one that was the worst for me, and it's a small thing. It's like I have problems with the story arc, everything, but the biggest problem was, what's your name, kid? Han. Han what? Nobody. All right, well, Han Solo. That's how he got his name. He didn't change it. It was given to him by the Galactic Empire. Apparently it's sentimental enough for him to keep it as Han Solo. Didn't want to change it the minute he got out of the Galactic Empire and pick his own name. No, Han Solo. That's how he got his name.
That bit was so easily saved, unfortunately, because they could have just had a scene. He was literally just with his love interest, and it would have been great if she always called him. Like, if she made some comment, it's like, oh, okay, you always like to do things solo or whatever.
Anything like
if she
that.
Was just like, if there was just a little bit thing in
why
there.
Can't his name
like,
just be
are
Han
you
Solo?
with anyone? And he was just like, no, I'm solo or whatever.
I'm flying solo.
Yeah, just like anything like that where he gives the name to himself rather than the Empire.
That's
gives
what I
him the
would
name.
like. Star-Lord, is like he just names himself.
I actually did really like that Han Solo had a stint with the Empire.
Well, we
and like
know that
seeing like all the war and everything like that. I really enjoyed that. That was probably one of my favorite things.
It would have been better placed in Rogue One.
Like the war where Han found Chewbacca. Like that, where it was really gritty,
that was a great planet.
dirty and stuff, and like
should have had more of that.
It was
everything that happened on the planet was really cool.
Yeah, it was really cool, and just to get a glimpse of that, like, I mean, the thing's called Star Wars, like, it's good to see some of that.
I'm liking these extra films because they're really doing a great job of showing the Empire in an evil light without the Empire always being the main evil.
Yeah.
Like in this film, like every single film that's coming out, I feel like they're finding new ways to make Star Destroyers really scary. Like there's that scene in this film where the Star Destroyer is going down that like tunnel of smoke.
That's great.
And it's like such a scary image.
That was an
It also
awesome
makes
shot.
no sense, but it's great.
such a good job.
Yeah, that was an awesome shot.
it.
Broadman, you said Chewbacca before, like, it's blatantly obvious that it's Chewbacca.
That scene is so good.
But then you're like, this is awesome. And it's one of those, like, it's one of those things where in the original movies, like, you hear that, Wookiees are strong and everything and all that, but you don't really see it that much. Like, you see it a bit, but you don't really see it that much. But in this, like, Chewie's just throwing him around and, like, breaking things and tearing limbs.
I hated that scene, but go on.
In
the mud
Yeah,
pit.
hated it.
And the bit where he actually tears the limbs off the like, actually
off the
tears
guard.
the arms. You're like, huh, yeah, I remember
liked that bit.
Yeah, that was good.
That was good. What can I ask you why you didn't like the mud fight scene?
So the history behind Chewbacca is supposed to be that his family and his whole planet get taken over by the Galactic Empire, and his family get killed, and Han Solo like helps defeat some of that part of the Galactic Empire on Kashyyyk, and Chewie owes Han a life debt on behalf of his family. I don't want to know that Chewie, one of the most beloved, likable characters, has eaten people. Because Chewie ate people straight up before Han got there. They've been throwing people in for him to eat out of hunger. I don't want to know that Chewbacca eats humans. That's never a thing. That's not I'm happy for them to show his strength. I don't want it to start with him being the same thing as the thing that Luke Skywalker gets thrown into in like bloody.
That would make that movie very different.
What I would have preferred, yeah. Well, now all I think is the thing that Luke killed with a giant rock might have just been a really nice person who was like. I don't want to know that.
Really misunderstood. I think I can.
Look, you need to look at it from Chewbacca's point of view.
I know.
Whereas like Chewbacca's thrown in the cage, like his like entire species has almost been wiped out. All he wants to do is leave and try to save any other Wookiee he can find in the universe, and he's willing to die to do that. If he's willing to die to that, he doesn't care about eating some people to survive to the next day.
I understand the mental complex. I just didn't want it for Chewbacca. I understand it's physically possible for someone to be pushed mentally that far.
I just like it because it makes the Empire more scary.
Yeah.
And like showing what they've done to his species. And it also makes Chewbacca kind of a more complex character rather than just the like always do something good. It's like he's a real person. Because I felt like he was always kind of like a dog type character in the original trilogy. He just followed Han around.
No, because I always saw it as he was just a loyal friend. He's just a hairy loyal friend like Angus. Angus wouldn't eat a person.
Yeah, I wouldn't eat other species though.
Well, okay, fine. Take that for example. Neither would Chewbacca.
But Chewbacca's not a vegetarian.
I imagine that he would be.
No, he's like a carnivorous animal.
No, look, I understand what you're saying.
Look, we're getting too stuck up on it. Yeah. We'll move on to the next point, but fair point.
If that wasn't Chewbacca in there and it was another Wookiee, would that scene have been really cool?
What I wanted it to be, because I didn't immediately go, oh, Chewbacca, because I was like, there's no way it's Chewbacca, because I don't want it to be Chewbacca. I expected it to be the same thing that's on Hoth, the
Wampa?
I expected it to be like one of those, but covered in mud.
Okay.
I expected it to be one of those.
Yeah.
Because that scene was such a cool scene. I loved the look of it and like the raw brutality of it.
I liked that. I just didn't like that it was Chewbacca. Han Solo is one of my favorite characters, if not my favorite character from the Star Wars universe.
Mm-hmm. I completely thought he's probably your favorite character in the Star Wars universe, other than Boba Fett.
The reason I love him is because he is a space pirate smuggler and he is mysterious. He's got the coolest, most precise blaster. He's got the look. He's got one of the fastest ships with just like whispers of how he got it from a poker game. That's why I like him. Same reason I like Boba Fett. There's non-canon stories now about Boba Fett, but ultimately I like Boba Fett because he's one of the fierce bounty hunters and we don't know why. Right? Now, I don't need to know that Han Solo is cynical because he had a love that left him when he was younger. I don't need to know that he got his blaster because way back when he was younger and another guy handed it to him. I don't want to know that he got his name Han Solo because someone told him. I don't want to know that he met Chewbacca when they were in a pit somewhere.
I think we can all agree that this film didn't need to be made.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Well, not only that.
I think we're all in agreement with that.
This film tells us nothing. It adds zero new to the Star Wars universe in any way. All it does is tell us... It's like with the Jack Sparrow movies now, where every Jack Sparrow movie is just like where he got his hat and how he got his coat and where he got his gun and where he got his compass. We don't need it. Like, I don't need someone to tell me that Han Solo got, like, you know, his belt from this guy. I don't need to know that Han Solo hates the rebellion because of this. I didn't need any of it at all. I don't need to know that Han Solo was a young kid that grew up on a scummy planet that just dreamt of being a pilot flying in the stars. I prefer Han Solo having all those characteristics and wondering how he became that way.
I think my perspective is I really don't give a shit about canon anymore because there's so much stuff in canon which I hate anyway. Like there's five of the films that I don't like in the canon at all, which I think is why that could be a reason why I kind of like this film.
I want to write this film off and pretend it doesn't exist.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
I just like this film because I just liked everything. There's so many moments where I was like, that could have done better, and I could probably think of ways to do that better. But now that we have it, it's like I just really enjoyed going and seeing this film. Like it was just so much fun and entertaining, and it was like a Star Wars film that really didn't pull any huge holes in other ones that I thought. Like, because like that was my biggest problem with Last Jedi is there was so much stuff that happened in that film where I was just like, oh, I hate that this happened.
I hated The Last Jedi.
I hate that this happened. And I was just like, this annoys me so much. And like, I basically sat through The Last Jedi just screaming in my mind, that's not how the Force works. And I'm talking about a mythical energy, and it's like, whatever. But But this film was just like, it was like, oh, yeah, he's got dice.
I guess I'm going to hand it over to you.
Well, I mean, jumping off of that, I think the main problem with this film, and Rogue One had it too, is that you know the outcome of the film before you even go into it. Like, when they're in Rogue One, when they're like, we're going to take these boffins and go, you're like, oh, well, we know what's going to happen to them. So, like, it is hard to make a movie and try and kind of plot twist it and all that when everyone knows where it's going to end up. Having said that, though, it was Broadman, you touched on it earlier. It's just it's nice to be back in that world. It's
We've
almost
had a film
like
every year. I didn't miss it.
like at this stage, it's becoming more like a TV show where I'm probably not going to go back and watch this again, but it was nice to see what all my friends have been up to in the Star Wars galaxy, kind of thing. You know what I mean? And it is cool to kind of have those little fill in the blank bits, and there were some really cool things in it, but yeah, I guess ultimately when you already know the story, it is a bit forgettable. So what's next on the radar for Star Wars?
The final chapter in the trilogy comes out next year. And then past that, they're either going to do the Obi-Wan movie or they'll do something else.
Cool.
I heard quite recently they're still working on the Boba Fett movie.
Yeah.
And that's the one they've got planned to do next.
I'd love that, being a fan of Boba Fett. It's just here's how I do a Boba Fett film, is I wouldn't publicize who we cast as Boba Fett, and I'd get like 10 people to play him throughout the movie.
Yeah, never take the helmet off.
Never take the helmet off. Because in the original trilogy, when they did Boba Fett, usually on set it was whoever would fit the suit wore the suit. Like, they didn't have one actor to play Boba Fett in that trilogy. Usually whoever was on set that day who could fit in that suit was Boba Fett that day, and then they'd hire someone else to do the voice for him later. And they were always just like tech guys and stuff like that, or like stand-in actors, and everybody got to be Boba Fett, and as a result you can't pin exactly what he sounds like. How he moves is different. Everything is different each scene, and I love that. It just adds to the mysterious. I'd hate for them to just be like, yeah, Liam Neeson is going to be Boba Fett, and it's just Liam Neeson in about, like... If you do a Boba Fett costume, tell me nothing about Boba Fett.
If they are going to put someone in there and make someone Boba Fett, I really hope at the beginning of the film, Boba Fett's there, and he gets murdered, and someone takes his armor. So it's not just a clone of Jango Fett. It's someone who's good enough to beat Jango Fett's son and become Boba Fett.
That'd be great.
You know? I like that. I like that a lot.
I think that's mainly... I think we've
covered a lot of it. Yeah, let's wrap things up there. I guess in closing, we'll just say that Cane Dogs, you really didn't like it because it touched on a character that you hold very dear to your heart, and it didn't handle it quite well.
It just didn't expand on anything. It just showed us stuff. Yeah.
Broadman, you did enjoy it.
Yeah,
you thought it was a fun little romp, and I guess I'm kind of in the middle. I can see kind of both ways. I thought it was fun enough to enjoy. Like. Definitely watch it once, I'd say. Cool. Cane Dogs, do you have anything that we can close? Or Brody, do you have anything that we have? No. Cane Dogs.
I was thinking some sort of rigging some sort of game, but we did do that with Molly's game. Think maybe if we just have some sort of game, but I'll put my car in and you put your car in, and we'll...
I don't want your car, though.
I don't want my car either, Angus.
So I guess I win?
No. Honestly, I put zero thought into that for this film.
I know. You've got to come up with... Okay, I've got an idea. You've got to come up with a new Star Wars character to shoehorn into the next Star Wars movie. Has to be not a human... Go.
So, there's a thing, right?
Yep.
In Attack of the Clones, where there's that senator meeting, and in one of the aliens in that meeting is the same alien as E.T. So his name is... Because E.T. was just a name that was given to them.
E.T.
right?
stands for extraterrestrial.
Right. His actual name...
Yeah.
...was James. And James he just worked at, like, the local Coruscant... like 712 And Obi-Wan came in.
712.
And Obi-Wan,
That's amazing.
And and like, you know, the pie was a bit more expensive than Obi-Wan had on him.
Yeah.
And what did I say? James? And James gave Obi-Wan the pie for a slightly cheaper price. And instead of Obi-Wan being like, "You're a legend," he went, "You're a Jedi." And then Obi-Wan left, and it's just a character called James who thinks he's a Jedi.
Who thinks he's a Jedi.
And he always shows up during battles.
Gets one of those lightsaber cheese knives that
Yeah,
they've got
and
in
he thinks he's a Jedi, and he keeps like he keeps going to battles where there are Jedis thinking he's a Jedi,
Yeah.
and every time he raises his hand to use the Force, somewhere else, there's
His
an actual...
finger just glows.
No, somewhere else, there's an actual Jedi moving something, and he just thinks it's him.
He just puts his hand up until something moves.
Yeah.
The ways of his own people.
I just love how Oka Obi-Wan is in this scenario. Obi-Wan's just like, you're a fucking Jedi, man. You're a bloody Jedi.
Oh, cheers, mate.
You know what? You're a bloody
Jedi.
Jedi.
That's my character.
All right, that's fine, bro.
Don't
man.
cut it out. I think
My
it's fantastic.
character is an Ewok bounty hunter called Cut Cut. And
Not Katut from those Amy ads.
no.
Cut.
Cut.
I love it. I love it.
And I've got a jetpack. I'm the most fierce bounty hunter in all the world.
I know, it's the famous bounty hunter, Katut.
And I'm known for eating people because Ewoks eat a lot of people. And
I hate you.
And no, that's seriously like Ewoks
they
eat a lot of people.
stormtroopers.
Oh, okay.
They were literally going to fry and eat Han Solo and Luke before they were like convinced them to let them go.
Alright.
And they totally ate all those stormtroopers.
Yeah.
That's why they're just playing the bongos on their helmets. Yeah, and I eat
Really
people.
barbaric.
The high of Stormtrooper.
I eat the people that I hunt that can be delivered dead or alive. Obviously, I don't really take many of the alive ones.
Okay, my character's name is Darren.
Okay.
And I am the second worm on the asteroid in the fifth one. And there's a turf battle between me and the slightly bigger worm whose name is Carl.
But you can't reach each other.
But we
so
can't
you just
reach
stick
each
out
other.
And you're like,
Yeah.
hey,
Yeah.
and then you get back in.
Yeah.
You always make fun of him because he let
That's
that food go that one time.
The epic, yeah. And he stole my girlfriend,
Oh,
which was another asteroid.
what a bastard!
Just an
Not
asteroid.
an actual worm.
Nah, just an
It was an asteroid that looked kind of like a
Like
worm.
a worm. Yeah. Thank you for listening to the Film Slice Podcast. You can reach us on Twitter at film_slice_pod. You can reach us on Instagram at filmslicepod. And don't forget to let us know what you think you should call yourselves, or we should call you yourselves that listen to us.
Yes.
Besides bloody legends, because that's what you are. You bloody
bloody Jedis,
legends, mate. You bloody...